So let's get started and let's talk about composite bodies. In fact, maybe composite bodies is not the good word. Maybe it's better to say shapes. And what is a composite shape? So a composite shape is really a combination of various known shapes. And maybe I should call that simple shapes. So those simple shapes, I know every geometric feature of them. So known shape here means I know all geometric features. So what does that mean? That means, for example, I know the area, I know A, I'm going to call it AI, right? So A subscript I. I also know the centroid location. So remember that the centroid location is described by X bar. So I'm going to call that X bar I. And I also know Y bar I. And therefore, I also know, if you remember back our last lecture, I also know X tilde I and Y tilde I. And I know technically other things, but those are not important for this lecture right now. So it's a known area and it's a known centroid location. So I will say that again. So known area and known centroid location. And now, if you remember what we really talked about last class, you can probably already guesstimate where we're going with this. So for example, if you remember our formula last class, it was X bar was equal to the infinite summation of Xi dA divided by the summation of dA. And now we're going to turn this into a finite space, right? So where here, this is the summation sign for infinite amounts of summation, and this is an infinitesimal small area, I'm now going to make those finite. So the formula looks very similar, just in its finite form. So X bar now becomes the summation of X tilde I times AI, and the whole thing divided by the summation of AI. So it's quite similar in the fact that the formula has the same shape, if you will, just that I take it from infinite to finite, and then my X tilde is just one that I know within the shape, and my dA becomes an area of known shape. And so you can probably already tell that this here at the bottom is nothing else than the total area. And in fact, let's write that down for our other direction. Y bar is equal to the summation of Y tilde AI divided by the summation of AI. And just to be clear, the summation of X tilde I AI is divided by A total. And I guess this will make more sense once we move on to the next section, in where we talk about infinitesimally small areas taken to the finite area on an example. But let's complete this here. AI divided by A total.